Cek, 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 cek.
Ini kan Pamela kalau sambutan di situ bisa kedepan.
Bisa. Coba aja, coba. Mau coba dulu. Coba lu aja. Aku bilang pakai ini juga laptop ini.
Kapan? Ntar dulu, bentar. Oke, sih, monitor.
Yang dari sana, yang dari sana. Yang dari sana.
Yang dari sana.
Cek loh, cek 1 2 naik nggak?
Masuk. Tes. Tes dicoba.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wa bihi nasta'in wa ala umuri dunya waddin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi rasulillahi ajma'in. Amma. In these beautiful occasions, I would like to welcome our distinguished guest firstly. His Excellency Professor Yon Mahmudi PhD as head of the Middle Eastern and Islamic Studies program. His Excellency Dr. Mulawarman Hanase as Editor-in-Chief Journal of Middle East and Islamic Studies. His Excellency Mr. Ibrahim Khalilur Rahman, PhD, as Session Chair. His Excellency Mr. Sharoni Rafi, PhD, as Session Co-Chair. Your Excellency Dr. Amanah Nuris, as Session Co-Chair. The honorable distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Universitas Indonesia. Thank you for joining International Mini Conference organized by Journal of Middle East and Islamic Studies, Universitas Indonesia. First of all, I would like to introduce myself.
Recording in progress.
My name is Annisa Maulidia Alfian, and I will be the master of ceremony for today. To make this even more bliss, let's start with saying Basmalah. The honorable distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to honor our country, let us sing Indonesia National Anthem, Indonesia Raya. Please return to your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to listen to a welcome speech delivered by Editor-in-Chief Journal of Middle East and Islamic Studies, Dr. Mulawarman Hanase. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Mulawarman.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
His Excellencies Professor Yon Mahmudi, PhD, Head of the Middle Eastern and Islamic Studies Program. His Excellencies, the panelists or discussion chair. Firstly, Dr. Amanah Nuris, as well as Dr. Ibrahim Khalilur Rahman, PhD, and my brother Muhammad Sharoni Rafi'i, MA, PhD, and also thankfully for the organizer from Middle East and Islamic Study Journal, Mas Ipul and Icha. Very thank you for both of you for the organize this international mini conference. It is very important for us to have this international mini conference. Firstly, in order to increase our reputation of our international journal of Middle East, and today also we taking very good issue, very important issue, a new roadmap for the Islamic world, integrating knowledge and development for a dynamic OIC future. It is relating with our subjects, different subject in our department program in the Middle East department, and also related with our what we are facing today in the international contemporary issue, especially for the Middle East issue that we witness the increasingly of the some dynamic of the knowledge, as well as integrating knowledge and the political and economic issue in the Middle East. Ladies and gentlemen, we also thanks for the all participants today, all presenters today. We have about 10 presenters, and they will presenting the very interesting topic for each presenter, and we will also inform to the all about a discussion participant on also all of participating to this conference. Journal of Middle East and Islamic Studies today already indexed by Sinta 5, and we have also already proposed the re-accreditation for the dictee to the new accreditation, and we do hope we can increase our accreditation. We have idea to be Sinta 2 accreditation, but at least we get Sinta 3, but we suggest and we have obsession to the future that we wish the MACE will be a reputable international journal in the future, and we wish also to be indexed in the Scopus as well as key 3, key 2, or key 1. We have a very big obsession, and one of the strategy to get to get the very reputable index international journal in the SKSG, and also in UI in Universitas Indonesia. We had this international mini conference in order to get difference paper, good paper, international paper. And lastly, we thanks and when we apologize if we have any mistake to the when we perform this international mini conference. Thanks for all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Mulwarman. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to listen to the welcome speech delivered by Head of Middle Eastern and Islamic Studies Program, Professor Yon Mahmudi, PhD. Please give a warm welcome to Professor Yon Mahmudi, PhD.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Is it okay, my voice, Annisa?
Yeah, it's clear, Prof.
Clear, yeah, okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
The Honorable, the Editor-in-Chief, Dr. Mula Warman, the Honorable Speakers, Dr. Amana Nuris, Dr. Ibrahim Halur Rahman, Dr. Muhammad Syahroni, and the organizer participants. I'm very happy actually right now to see what will be going on today, that we have the international mini conference, or we are more familiar with the probably international workshop that organized by our journal, Islamic and Middle East journal, and as already mentioned by Dr. Mula Warman, that the journal, we hope that will be indexed in Scopus, and right now we are still waiting for the result of the re-accreditation, and hopefully we will reach the highest accreditation in Sintang. And this is, I think, a good opportunity for us to meet here, and the yeah, sorry, I think there's problem of connection in my internet. Okay. So we hope that through this mini international conference or international workshop, that we can develop and discuss each other in specific issues, and the result of the discussion can be published in our journal. So this is very important regarding the issue of the new roadmap of the Islamic world, integrating the knowledge and development in OIC. And we know that as the lecturers, professors, academics, members, or students probably, we have to think that our education activities, research, or even the social engagement is not only for knowledge, but also should be integrated with the development, with the realities in our society. So our knowledge should give a solution for the society in the level of national or global level. So that is why we are very happy to have this international mini conference organized by the Journal of Middle East and Islamic Studies. And we hope that we can enhance and develop this kind of activity involving more country. So probably for the next few years, we can also ask other university, specific university, to have this kind of international mini conference or international workshop discussing special issue, and then publish in our journal or with the other journal of our partners. For instance, we last weeks we also host the think tank. For instance, the trends Research and Advisory for Uni Emirat Arab came to the SKSJ to discuss about the possible cooperation in the research publication. So if we can probably one have the international mini conference with the trends research and advisory and discussing specific issues, then after that we publish in our journal or in their journal. And also we are right now also discussing with the Republic of the Iraq, and they are also interested to have cooperation in research publication and also education. So we can also make this thing happen with a specific country, with specific university. It is okay only with one or two university, and we can have this kind of the um, discussion, and the result of discussion can be published in our journal or in the journal of our partners in the foreign country or in overseas. So I am very uh, much support this activity, and thank you for Dr. Mula Warman and also the organizer, Mas Ipul, Icha, that are very supportive in this kind of making the international happen. Okay, thank you very much and enjoy the discussion, and we will see the result and the publication very soon. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Yan. Ladies and gentlemen, before we are going to start, I would like to remind you about the presentations guideline, especially for the time allocations. So each team has a total of 15 minutes, 7 minutes for the presentations, and 8 minutes for the Q&A sessions. So ladies and gentlemen, the international mini conference is going to start. Then we call our Honorable Session Chair, Mr. Ibrahim Khalil Rahman. Pak Ibra, the session is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Annisa. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, honorable professors, Pak Yon Mahmudi, Pak Mula, and all the judges, Ibu Amanah Nourish, and Bapak Muhammad Shahroni. So it is such pleasure for me to be a panelist in this conference, and I'm sure everybody is so enthusiastic to present and to see how far they can get comments to improve their study and for possible publications at the journal. So just to remind everyone that you will have 15 minutes, and Anissa will be timekeeper to remind you that time is wisely allocated for presentations and Q&A. Just short introduction, how does it work? So each group, each paper will be presented 7 minutes, and then the assigned panelists will give comments. And if there is some more time available, like for instance, there are still 2 minutes left, then I will over other judge to give some comments, and then we can end the presentation by 15 minutes per group or per paper. So without further ado, I would like to invite the first paper titled How Can Monetary Policy and Digitalization Enhance Economic Productivity Among OIC members. And the author of the paper is Basri and Muhammad Akbar Ramadhani from UIN Jogja. I'll be the main panelist, but if time is available, I'll invite Dr. Amana and Dr. Roni to give comments or feedback on the paper. So please, Basri and Muhammad Akbar, the time is yours. And the clock will be started right when you say salam to start your presentation. So please take the time in good manner so that you are not running out of time. Anissa, can you make sure the authors are in Zoom already?
We already in Zoom, Pak. Mr. Basri El Mahadi. I will ask to unmute. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Basri, please share your presentation slide.
Okay, wait.
Okay, while waiting Basri to present, I remind you the component of judgment will be divided into five aspects: the systematics of presentations, the argument, the timeliness, and the writing and language. And the lastly is the visual presentation. So please take a look that we have five important aspects to be evaluated from your presentations. So back to Basri, please, the time is limited, so please be prepared as soon as possible.
Wait. Sorry, I can find out my find, but this is mistake. Bar, coba ini udah mau masuk. Silakan di share dulu. Sorry, sir. Because my this bad network and mistake and PowerPoint will be yeah. Okay, Mr. Akbar.
Okay, let's start. Your time is 7 minutes, starting from now, please.
Okay, maybe our research will be presented first, Mr. Muhammad Akbar.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are pleased to be here today for attending this conference. So, our result study, please back to the previous slide.
Kalau harga air ini naik, maka permintaannya turun. Kalau harga tisu naik,
Hello.
I will decide if the first group is not ready yet. We'll move on to the second group. So I'll give the time for the first group to prepare. I don't think it's quite professional in that way because you have been spending 10 minutes without anything going on. So let's move on to the second group, please. And I'll come back to first group when you are ready. Please let me know. Please let the office, please let committee knows that you are ready. So let's move to the second group first. The topic is about digital activism and political change, challenges of social media's impact on political development. And the presenter will be Muhammad Rahimullah, Putri Handayani Lubis, and Nindya Juwita Utimadini from EIN Pontianak. So the floor is yours. Two of you, please take the microphone. And the panelist for this is Ibu Dr. Amanah Nuris. Yeah, please, Putri Handayani, are you ready with the presentation? You're still mute.
I'm sorry, sir. Give me 10 minutes because presenter in my friend's in India.
Okay, how about the third presenter, Wida Prayudi and Novat Pugo Sambodo? Are you ready to present? Wida, Reza, Prayudi, Novat Pugo Sambodo, are you ready to present? How about Sharifah Miswar?
Ibrahim, if possible, number 10.
Number 10. Okay, wonderful. Number 10, future trends in halal food, how innovative Islamic business models are redefining the Indonesian market. Jimmy Kizwini and Diki Gita Purnama from Universitas Paramadina. So the time is yours. Take the opportunity to present 7 minutes and will be responded by 8 minutes for discussion. So the time is yours, Jimmy.
Thank you very much. Let me allow to share my presentation. Is it visible?
Not yet. Now it's opening.
Now it's okay. The slide is still on the screen?
Yes, but not in full mode. So please present it in full mode. Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, I maybe in this way. Thank you very much. My name is Jimmy Kizwini from Paramadina University, Jakarta. Along with my co-author, my lecturer, would like to explore about the future trend in halal food and how innovative Islamic business model are redefining the Indonesian market. Previously, I would like to say thank you very much for SKSG and MIS for this opportunity. We are very pleased to present this title and our research. Actually, this research is previously to be done by my lecturers, Pak Diki in Paramadina University in previous semesters. His research is about the traceability about the beef food in Indonesia. He developed a web design to connect the several stakeholders in Indonesia. Yes, this is my slide. Yes, I have involved in halal food when I was young, 10 years ago in UIA, and this is my lecturers. He is also first author in article that I also refer to for this research. First, I would like to explore about the Indonesia overview for this research is Indonesia pivotal role in the global halal food market. Also, the second one, there is a global halal market grow. We know Muslim or non-Muslim market also see the halal food also as one of the alternative commodity to consume for health actually. And also the third one is cultural significant, deep-rooted Islamic value influencing consumer behaviors. This is one of the trigger how halal food grow years by years. This research focus on how Indonesian halal food business can integrate with Islamic principle with the contemporary market trends. This research provide insight for business to innovate while adhering to Islamic value. Our research methodology, this is our initial research. So we try to explore about the literature review first. We are explore academic research, especially journals which related to this issue, and also we provide a case study for this article. There are two companies we are going to explore. What is the problem statement and why research is created? This is our question. How can Indonesian halal food business effectively integrate Islamic principle with contemporary market trend to sustain their competitive, our key is competitive advantage, and ensure long-term success in the global market. Also, we are providing the key term is long-term. So in the next slide, we are going to explore about the case study that company that now is operated by third generations. So we are using this keyword long-term success. Overview halal food market Indonesia. Yes, in this article, we are also describing about the historical context, how halal food growing, developed from initial from independence, and then 70s era, and also 80s, while they're establishing the MUI who concerned about the halal, BPOM, LPPOM MUI, and then until BPJH, the last regulation about the halal food in Indonesia. In this article also, we are of course, we are exploring about Islamic business model. The key principle we are providing at least 4. The first one is Sharia compliant. The second is fairness, transparency, prohibition of we can say Maghrib, Maisir, and Gharar. Here we are pointing about the Gharar. The third one is social responsibility, and also the last one is sustainability. Responsible, as we are on a human in this planet, Islam see this as Khalifah. So, and then also we are concerned about the integration with modern practice, emphasis on transparency, sustainability, and ethical branding. Here, our highlight about Islamic business model. We are going to concern that an Islamic business model does not need to label its practice as Islamic. Instead, it focuses on following Islamic value like being ethical, transparent, sustainable, and Sharia compliance, of course. Islamic value guide the business, allowing it to attract both Muslim and non-Muslim customers without having to name everything as Islam. Our concern about emerging trend in Islamic model, the first one, there are blockchain technology and ethical branding. Here our case study of successful implementation. Successful is not only our research is about the successful. Maybe one of us is not familiar with this brand, sichadas.com, and maybe also about Mubarak Food. We are providing this to entity, these two company. The first one, Mubarak Food, is established in around 1990, around 100 years ago established, and now operated by third generation, and still running well and still going. The business is still going and growing in Kudus, West Java.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jimmy, the time is over.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is Mubarak Food business model. Our founding, yes, last week we are also try to contact the Mubarak Food company, and the assistant of the owner also contact us, and we are talking about this research in Java. I'm trying to Kulon Nuwun and sichadas.com, and this is our conclusion. Yes, thank you very much. If any question or feedback, we are pleased to discuss further. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jimmy, for the presentations. I will start with my comments, and then I'll invite Ibu Nuris, Ibu Nuris and Pak Roni to give comments as well afterwards if time is available. So we have 8 minutes to discuss. My question is, you mentioned that in this stage of analysis, your method is literature review. Am I correct?
Correct.
You mentioned that your result is a literature review. On the way the presentations, it seems like you have had several case study analysis, and in some way you had some interviews, case study with owner of companies. How can you link between your claim method, as you mentioned, it's all about literature review, and your result from your study, which seems to me like more integrating business case and real case analysis. So to me, it's like mismatch between what you meant by methodology in the first part of the presentation and what you have presented as the result from your study. The second aspect is you mentioned that new Islamic business model is something not requiring any labels. But how do you make sure? How do you ensure that without the label, people will be interested to implement? Like, so what's different if we cannot label them as Islamic business model? Like, because your suggestion is just go on as long as you adopt Sharia guidelines, then you are Islamic without necessarily giving the label. But some people, now some people are interested to implement things because of the label. So how do you see that in the perspective of debate, whether we need label or not in reality to promote Islamic economy or Islamic business? So please respond to my question. Time is limited.
Thank you very much, Pak Ibrahim. This is challenging question. The first one, I would like to answer the last question first about the labeling of Islamic business model. Here, for determining the Islamic business model, we are highlight that the company who implement the Islamic business model is not only is no need to say the company declare as Islamic business model. Our company is Islamic company. No, but this company, our analysis, who implement the Islamic value, the Sharia guideline, the Sharia compliant, like our finding in Mubarak Food, he is not announced to the public that this is the Islamic model, but we see the inside, we see the operate like in Mubarak Food, they are implemented. This is they have 5S management system. This is referred to Sharia and Sadaqah, and also visiting the employee when get sick, or they have pengajian in like Islamic recitation kitab in employee every month. They have changed the routine, the reciting the Al-Quran in employees' home. This is changed month by month. So we see the company is not labeled, is not declared. Here is not declared. Of course, our customer need labeling for Islamic. In Indonesia, in global, for halal food is labeled by the halal certification. That's why Mubarak Food also is very concerned about the halal assurance and halal labeling. So all the product is need to be assessed and on halal certification. There are two different, I think. Labeling for halal food is halal certificate is required 100%, but not just as Islamic company. Also about the sicadas.com. Sicadas.com is web design company. It's not declared as Islamic company, but he implement the business the founder want to ensure that customer is find the right beef with halal operation. So this is how we see the Islamic business model. The first one is about the methodology. This is 100% literature review. We are referred to several related journal, the reputable journal. Sicadas.com is published in from IPB about traceability of beef, and about the Mubarak Food also we are referred to the journal 100%. About the, I'm not interviewing the owner, but I'm just informed that I'm writing this your company, and I hope this finding is also sweet and meet with your operation. So we are have first communication, and maybe this is can be continue for case study deeply research with the company.
Thank you, Jimmy. Annisa, do we still have time?
1 minute left.
Oh, 1 minute left. Probably I couldn't hand over to Mbak Nurish and Pak Roni because time is so limited. Maybe just a conclusion from me, Jimmy. I think the label thing is probably something need to discuss. I don't think Mubarak is good. To me, Mubarak is not really good example for this, because Mubarak has been in the market since forever. Like when I was kid, which is 40 years ago, my father, when coming back from Jawa Tengah, he always bring Mubarak as the gift for his kids. Back then, the spirit of Islamic economics has not yet grown. So Mubarak has already rooted very deeply with regards to business model. So maybe they don't need any label. But imagine now when the growing sentiment of product is primarily driven by visibility of things, of sentiment towards halal industry or halal cosmetics or whatever, probably it will be interesting to see whether we need a label or not. I'm not saying that we need label, but probably it will be interesting to see whether market really need label or not in Indonesian Islamic business. That's probably something you can carry over for the future study.
Thank you. This is
Yeah.
interesting. Thank you. Your insights, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you so much, everyone. This is very interesting paper. I will move to a big applause to Jimmy and team. You can put your react and give claps. Give clap to Jimmy and friends. Let's move on to the second presenter, and the organizer has told me the second presenter will be Sharifa Miswar from Central China Normal University. The topic is Illuminating Progress, Charting an Energy-Driven Future for Islamic World. And the panelists will be Muhammad Sharani, PhD, Muhammad Sharani, PhD, or Paroni, got PhD from Political Science from Marmara University in Turkey. So please, Sharifa, the time is yours, and Paroni, be prepared to give comments. Time is limited.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm Sharifa from Central China Normal University, and wait, I just wait. This is my thank you for the opportunity to give me to present my work with title Illuminating Progress, Charting an Energy-Driven Future for Islamic World. So basically, can we move? For the introduction, basically, the problem of Islamic countries now is we are dominated by with the fossil fuel energy, fossil fuel resources, and but we trap in the middle of the diversification and energy sustainability. So one point is we are rich, we make a rich, we can make money. Most of oil producer is come from Muslim world, Muslim country. But now we have to sorry because we are focused on renewable energy and sustainability. That so it will give us more challenges for Islamic countries. But why this is special? Because we understand that in Islam, our religion is conduct everything. We have mentioned everything and how to regulate it all the system in this world, especially like Khalifah, right? So let's take this. The next slide. This my research full with the qualitative data approach is not too deep. Just what I get from the maybe it is simple data is like from OIC. I compare it and data research from World Bank and some of the maybe in not maybe in Sukuk obligations. So let's next. So we talk about how the current energy landscape in Muslim world, Muslim country. In OIC countries, the current energy landscape characteristic by several key features. First, fossil fuels dominance, of course, like I mentioned before. And the second is renewable energy capacity growth. Of course, among of these countries, while we produce the oil, but like Saudi Arabia, Morocco, and Kuwait, they try to produce another renewable energy. That means what? From the oil price, the money that also try to invest to create renewable energy. So like we see in some continent, from the biggest continents, 10 years, last 10 years, the energy growth more higher and higher. So and what the next is also characteristic by major energy infrastructure in Islamic world, and like next, so what is the challenge from this problem, from this situation? So even we have Islamic country has a lot of money to invest and a lot of fossil fuels resources. So the problem is the first is economic vulnerability to oil price fluctuations. This is the example, like now, a correlation with regional politics. If we see that when sometime the oil the something happened in this region, that's impact on oil price. Of course, the oil price influx fluctuation also impact to um, national or social capability, social money, right? So the nations cannot give can give borrow for society. So that's mean what if the nations in Islamic countries, especially in Middle East and Gulf country, they just dependent on this oil products. So it will become the maybe sometime it's unstable, and that unstable impact to the politic. So the second is the environment concern. The heavy reliance of fossil fuels in many Islamic countries contributes to several environment issues. It's like greenhouse emissions and local pollutions. And then the long-term sustainable issues, like stranded assets, the risk significant fossil fuel refers and relate to infrastructure may become standard asset. And then economic transitions, I think like there is shifting away from fossil fuels based economics requires substantial investment and can lead to short-term economic disruptions. So, and the next is technology and knowledge gap. This is also the problem of some Muslim countries. The resources provided, but the infrastructure is lacking, and also expertise are also lacking. So this is the problem we have to solve to make our research more prosperity, more vulnerability, more benefit. So we can see the next. So the renewable energy transitions is like that's also we can see the case study in Morocco, United Emirates Arab, Saudi Arabia, and also some in Asian countries. For Asian is more specifically because the situation is totally different with in the Middle East and Africa, and also in Asia. Maybe if I have time, we can talk about this later. So this the energy target is more more strict for Muslim world. So let's see for the next. And I'm sorry for this, but basically the diagram is full with the number. It's like in 2022, 3.6 and 3.8, and from to 2030 it's become 5.5. That is, I mean, Islamic finance assets in trillion USD. So for the next, I mentioned also the Sukuk innovation financial tools. The Sukuk is the obligation. The obligation is, if you know, the obligation is the like from the governments as the debt to the society, and to produce and to promote the project for sustainability and other renewable energy project, something like that. For the next, this is very interesting. This is I mentioned also how sustainable development goals as correlation with the SDGs, not SDG program, that is SDG principle. If we see like stewardship, khilafah is correlation with SDG 13. Can we implement it in climate actions? So for the next, so basically how not just Islam, basically if we think about we talk about how to create it for better allocations for the resources, we can see from the Islamic principle in resource management, see like stewardship Khalifah I mentioned before, balanced resource management and social justice. This is for is the traditional, but its effect if we adopt this management, but also have some challenge. We have to make sure with our condition now. That's mean like what, when we adopt the system, we also have to conduct with our situation like resource management, social justice.
Mami Sharifah, the time is so far ends.
Oh yes, thank you so much, and this is opportunity for us, and thank you. I think that's all for this time.
Thank you so much, Sarifah. Pak Roni, the time is yours. You will have 8 minutes to discuss with Sarifah about the paper. Please, Pak Roni, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Chairman, Pak Dr. Ibrahim. And then thank you for your presentation, Sarifah. I would like to ask some questions. The first one is, as you mentioned in your presentation, that Islamic value need to be adopted in the aspect of energy. You mentioned the Khilafah and then Al-Mizan and so on. But as we know in Islamic principle regarding this aspect, I think it's better to use the concept of Annas, Suroka, Silkala, Walma, and Nar. So people are in common, they are cooperate in energy, water, and fire. There is a hadith that mentioned specifically regarding this aspect. So in this case, the hadith specifically focus on how energy must be in the hand of state. State must control water, oil, and other aspects that depend on people's life. So I mean that when you put the concept as Khilafah, Mizan, it must be matched with the case that you write in your article. The second one is you mentioned about the trend of energy in one hand, but in other hand, lack of funding. So Muslim country attempting to reach the alternative energy. However, you mentioned the lack of access for funding. So it means like you are proposing the ambivalency. Also, you mentioned that Muslim country, especially Arabic country, they are rich in terms of fossil fuel, but they are not considering alternative energy. But in some cases, in Muslim country, I think they are trying to make kind of a future plan, such as Saudi Arabia. They are rich, but at the moment they are preparing to use green energy for their energy strategy. I think you need to explore the trend in Muslim countries. Please your response, Sharifah.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Sorry, I cannot catch up all the main point you said. But when that is very interesting, because when we mention something, the concept of in Islam, we have many large. So I just find some, but that is true. I will try to increase my knowledge. And the last what I say, of course I understand what I say is not, maybe sometimes it's like unmatching what I say first and what I said the last, that there is some unmatching, but what I say like this. Why they, because we have to understand that for first, for the renewable energy, sustainable energy, we understand that that is not easy to invest there. Even we have money, that's because that is not easy to give transitions from the to shift from fossil fuel energy consumption to renewable energy. Of course, I admit, I know some like Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Kuwait, they invest a lot of money to that, and they have big future planning. But don't forget, because to transition that, in other study I also read that that is not easy to move, to shift directly and to shift. They have some process. While the some process, what does that mean? The cost, the case is like the cost to spend that and the time to transition is not that's not balanced. What does it mean for the next? While we're doing something to prefer for better life, the what we used before, we don't leave it totally. Like we have time per time. This is what I mean. I'm sorry, this is misunderstand. And we have I also explore some what I don't, why I don't mention this one sentence for about the Arabian Gulf country, Saudi Arabian and Middle East. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, I don't mention this, but when the last year I also discussed about this for the book for the renewable energy for PPE Dunia, the perception of the world and compare with this perception with the people in Saudi Arabia and middle of the oil produced countries, totally different. Like this, if you see, like we understand like this, we the term of renewable energy, in fact, just common in the world beside out of the Middle East Gulf country. Because why? The investments, the people, the expertise in Saudi Arabia and other countries, they think like this. Can you imagine? I just said like this when I discuss, sister, like this. They assume like this. A whole in the world is created for human, right? Allah created everything for humans, but especially it's like other resource and everything. The people in Middle East and Gulf country, they don't believe that we need to change to renewable energy as soon as possible, because what, there is just like paradigm and how to say, it's like backwards from the America. That is like just like with the campaigns. They, some of them, I find that facts, but I don't write about this in my paper, because this is not how to say frontal they use. But in some case, when I see some students from there, and also I discuss with friends from the Gulf country, they focus about that. They always say that is just campaign. We have another thinking. We have different thinking or different perception about the renewable energy. Renewable energy in their words is that is just bullshit. But for us, we increase the situations while they also provide while even though they think like that, they also provide and invest made so much money on that. And we have to mention that one, why until now the UN programs doesn't to decrease the high temperature is not valuable, is not effect on the global warming, because we understand that the cost, the expertise that the world needs more, put money and more to invest on that, and there's no one. That is not easy to people send the money, so they make campaign and everything. This is like contradiction about the in the reality, and also the in the research. I think that's why that's why we have to mention in the conference. Of course, we can say you have to look for what about this and this. We have to say, but in reality, that's not easy. We say people say the UN, the UN, the Arabic countries, they always claim that we have to transition for energy and everything. We support the program, but in reality, if we see one by one of the society, they don't believe that. That is what the paradigm of around the world is totally different. In Gulf country, Islamic country, believe that Allah created all resources for us. So the problem is not for us to have renewable energy. The problem is about that. We cannot share for every country. That's why the price, the oil price in your hometowns is rise, and for us is cheap. Why when we cannot share, they cannot buy the oil price, the resource price from us cheaply, they make campaign that's kind of like renewable energy and everything. That's always happen, not just in renewable in energy sector, also in others in other sectors like China. That's also happen. I think that's all. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you, Pak Roni. Bu Nuris, do you have very quick feedback on this?
Well, thank you, Dr. Ibrahim. I think what I heard from the presenter just wonderful. Maybe you just need to make a better structures on your paper about these topics. You have excellent explanations in terms of your capacity, but in terms of writings, you need more improvement. That's what I like to comment. Thank you, Pak Dr. Ibrahim.
Thank you, Bu Nuris. From me, it's the same. I think the topic is quite interesting. Maybe the debate should be built upon why Islamic countries, for instance. Because you say about illuminating progress, should it be applying for everyone, not only Islamic countries? Why should be Islamic countries as the highlight? The necessity for transforming into renewable energy, for instance, because it applies to everyone, even though for some Islamic countries now, renewable energy is probably not as more expensive as those in European countries or in the United States, for instance. But the title should be, the introductory part should be discussing about why is it relevant for Islamic countries and not for everybody. That is probably something I need to learn more in the future when the paper is being improved. So thank you very much, Sharifah, for the presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and good luck for the continuation of the study and for the reporting. I would like to move to the group 2. The organizer told me that Muhammad Rahimullah Putri Lubis and Nindya Putih Madini will be the next presenter from UIN Pontianak. And don't forget to look at your right up corner when you see the time left in your presentation. Yeah, because one component in the analysis is the timeliness. So please take a look on the time. So once again, thank you very much, Annisa. Thank you, Pak Roni, for the comments in this presentation. Next, move up to Muhammad, Putri, and India. The time is yours. Time is limited. Take your time effectively.
Thank you very much for the chance. Allow me to share my screen first. Wait. Sorry.
So while waiting, Abu Nuris will be the commentator for this presentation.
Thank you for the chance, MC. I would like to introduce my team first. Our team consists of Muhammad Rahimullah, Putri Handayani Lubis, and me, myself, Nindya Juwitati Madini. So basically, we are coming, all of us, three, Yayan Pontianak. And today we would like to discuss about our paper entitled Digital Activism and Political Change, Challenges of Social Media's Impact on Political Development. Okay, so basically the introductions of why we start to discussing this is because of some ideas popping up from Howard, Hussein, Tufekci, and then Loader et al. 2014. So since the advent of social media, various political movements have flourished, driven by the platform ability to facilitate communications, mass mobilizations, and private disseminations of informations. This phenomenon creates new opportunities for citizens to be directly involved in politics without the need for one organizations or large resources, which was previously an obstacle to political participations. However, behind the success of digital activisms in pushing the political change, there's also a dark side. Some research suggests that social media can be a space for disinformations, political polarizations, and mass manipulations. There are concerns that the use of social media in politics is more of a result of collectivisms, in which individuals engage only superficially with no real impact on policy or political change. So our focus today, our paper tried to answer these questions. The first one is, how does social media shape political narratives? How effective is digital activism in driving real political change compared to traditional forms of activisms? And the third one is, are there any limitations or challenges faced by digital activism in the broader political context? So we did the methodological that we adopt is actually qualitative methodology. We do search from JSTOR, Google Scholars, with some key terms of ideas. Wait a minute. As the key terms here, I put it as Scopus, Google Scholar, JSTOR. We use the three keywords such as digital activism, social media and political change, and online mobilizations to study and to look for the literature that talks about this. And then we found out that this network society theory is the main one, which is I think the most theory that being used amongst all. So the network society theory introduced by Castell 2015 states that structural changes in modern society are caused by information technology, shifts in communications, especially the internet, which have created a network society. In the context of politics, digital networks have revolutionized the way individuals and groups participate in the political process. So social media as a social part of networking is important of enabling rapid, massive political mobilizations without the need of a rigid, formal organizational structure. This shows that social media has an important role as an efficient mobilization tool in the context of repressive politics. One of the main strengths of social media in the context of political mobilizations is its ability to accelerate the disseminations of informations, whether in the form of news, political messages, or calls to action. However, it is important to note that political mobilization through social media is not just about the speed and scale. There is another dimension that involves narrative constructions in the network society. Social media allows users to create, disseminate, and consolidate specific narratives, and that direct how political events are understood by the public. So while social media provides a space for political mobilizations, there is also a risk. There is a risk of fragmentations of social networks. There are too decentralized, which can lead to a lack of coordination within political movements. Bennett and Segerberg, 2012, calls this phenomenon as the logic of connective actions, in which political actors are more involved in individual actions than collectives. While this model may be successful in mobilizing early participations, it often fails to maintain the sustainability and consistency of more organized political actions, which can ultimately hinder real policy change. The result of this analysis is that social media plays an important role in creating space for rapid and massive political and mobilizations in the digital era. However, the effectiveness of these mobilizations depends on the ability of political actors to strategically coordinate collective actions outside of digital platforms. In addition, the role of social media in building and disseminating political narratives is also a key element that can strengthen or weaken political movements. So the digital activism and real conditions in Indonesia, is carried out by a study by Lim, shows that social media such as Twitter has become an important platform for political participations in Indonesia, especially in disseminating information and building political solidarity among urban communities. However, as in other countries, a major challenge for digital activism in Indonesia is the increasing political polarizations. According to a study by Aspinall and Misner, 2019, religious and ethnic-based polarizations became stronger during the 2017 Jakarta regional elections and 2019 general elections, with social media playing as a significant role in exacerbating this tension. Echo chambers and filter bubbles further reinforce this tendency where social media platform algorithm promote content that is in line with user belief, thereby reducing dialogue with different groups. So this polarization also exacerbated by the spread of disinformations or hoaxes, which can become a serious problem in Indonesia, especially during political campaigns. This disinformation not only affects the public's perceptions of political candidates, but also exacerbates social polarization by giving rise to sentiments of hatred and mistrust between groups. So the challenge of disinformation in Indonesia is also highlighted by a study from UNITA, which shows that in the Indonesian government effort through the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology to combat hoaxes are often ineffective, because the speed of spreading false information on social media is much faster than regulatory or fact-checking efforts. So in this context, the biggest challenge for digital activism in Indonesia is how to overcome the negative effects of polarizations and disinformations while still harnessing the great potential of social media to mobilize the masses and expand political participations. So in conclusions, the results of this study shows that digital activism through social media has a great potential to influence political change, especially in mobilizing the masses and providing space for more inclusive political participations. However, the effectiveness of digital activism is in producing real policy change is still questionable. In addition, challenges such as disinformation and political polarization shows that social media can be a double-edged sword in the political context. Lastly, this research also shows that theoretical theories such as network society, political participations, and collective actions can help understand the complex dynamics between social media, digital activisms, and political change. However, to understand the long-term impact of digital activism on the political system, more follow-up studies are needed, especially in the context of developing countries where social media is used in different political situations. That's all from me. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Bu Nuris, the time is yours to give comment.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Bapak Dr. Ibrahim. Thank you, Mbak Nindya, for your great presentations. First of all, I would like to start with your title on digital activism and political change, challenges of social media's impact on political development. When I read this paper, it is really a good idea. I'm not doubtful with your capacity, but this topic is recently, like pop, yeah. saying about digital activism. What I like to comment, perhaps in your better paper when you publish this article, so make it clear analysis and more specific. That's very, very important. Speaking about digital activism is very huge context in today's situations, not only in Asian context, but also especially in the Western context. Just recently, I have been living in Silicon Valley, which is neighbor. I was a neighbor with Facebook, Google, during my projects at Stanford University. So this topic is very, very huge, but it is very important to see how Indonesian politics today. This is how make you become a winner in this topic. So my suggestion is that you should clearly explain what kind of digital activism in Indonesian society's context. That's very important, if we read the previous research or previous studies, Indonesian society is the largest community using social media. So this is why the political polarization is very easy to, to happen in this kind of dualism paradigm of this country during the digital technology, especially. So please focus on your case. That's very important. And then let's see with your methods. Yeah, you mentioned literature reviews, but in fact you are using social media analysis. So my suggestion is that better to remove literature review because this is social media analysis, qualitative research. So it's not literature review. Of course, you use literature review to read paper, to read journals, books regarding this topic. But in your methods, actually, you are analyzing social media. Am I correct, Mbak Nindya?
Well, because I look for these key terms in like international articles, publishers like Scopus or Google Scholars, and then so we thought first it is actually as like systematical literature research that been done before by many, but if it is like a social literature review or yeah, I think I will double check about it. Because I think this is very new. Yes.
Yes, this is very new study. That's why this is also very new methodology in research. So my suggestion is better to remove with the social media analysis, qualitative research. That's something new methodology in our field. Also, if you are looking at the case on like polarizations or political disinformations that making all of society with the collective actions, you can mention the case like election. That was very interesting case, or the case of Ahok, for example. It was also the political polarizations with the intolerant or tolerant groups between one to another. It was also because of digital activism. So my general comment is first, you should clearly mention what digital activism in Indonesian context, and then the second one, focus on the case of Indonesian political situations right now, which is already mentioned in the earlier, analysis on your part of the paper. So that's why better to add some informations about that. And theory, that's very, very new. speaking about collective actions. I don't know whether you are familiar with DNA theory, digital network actions, something like that. Lencho Bennett, the professor who is very expert on this study. I think the way you mentioned, it is good, but needs to rewrite in the better structures on your paper, and then more focus on your idea, which is about Indonesia. Also, you mentioned on polarizations, disinformations. What kind of polarizations actually? What kind of disinformations? Because this is too general, too general. I mean, so why don't you mention about how people's behavior? I mean, Indonesian society's behavior when they play on social media like TikTok, for example. TikTok is very vulnerable if we are not careful, or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Somehow it is used by the political agency. The more you have money, the more you have buzzers to win your power relations in terms of elections, for example. So please make it, more structures and more focus on your topics. And then my last comments is that you have a capacity to write international journal, but remember, being an author in international reputable journal is never easy. This is for everybody's comment. You cannot just write in English, but your English is also really still needs to improve, because I know and I can feel some people use Google Translate, which is totally will be rejected. Believe me, because there is a potential issue on, similarity, like copy paste or something like. I don't want to say in the bad word. Please make sure this is international reputable journal so that you can write more quality paper. Your idea is already good, but you just need to improve more quality paper in your sentences, in your organizations of the paper, on your paragraphs, etc., to make yourself better as an author. That's what I need to comment. Thank you, Pak Ibrahim.
Thank you so much, Bu Nuris. I think Nindya, you got a lot of comments. And speaking about English, I actually think like your English is good. Accent is starting to grow. I don't know if in Pontianak you learn British, but the British accent is a bit there. Please improve it. And as Bu Nuris also suggested, there is no way to stop learning. So I think it will be just a way to improve your writing and your English capacity. So good luck. Thank you, Nindya. Give applause to Nindya, and thank you, Ibu Nuris. Let's move on to the first presenter. Actually, the first presenter, but it's becoming the fourth presenter from UIN Jogja. How can monetary policy and digitalization enhance economic productivity among UIC members? So 8 minutes, 7 minutes, the time is yours. Basri and Akbar Ramadhani.
Okay, sir.
Maybe my PowerPoint is
We couldn't see your slides yet, so please share your slides so that everybody can see.
okay. Our paper will be presentation Mr. Muhammad Akbar.
Yeah, please go on.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are pleased to be here today to have an opportunity attending this conference and present the result of our research study. So our study talk about how can monetary policy and digitalization enhance economic productivity among OIC members. Please, next, the slide. Okay, we start from discussing per capita income is one of the key measures of a country development achievements. According to Ragnar Nurs, low productivity and income are two components of a vicious cycle that traps a nation peoples in poverty. The economic progress of countries around the world remains highly varied as measured by income. Many nations are still underdeveloped while others enjoy prosperity. So from this, World Bank classifies nations based on income levels into 4 categories: low income, lower middle income, upper middle income, high income countries. Please, next the slide. So why we choose OIC countries as the sample of our study? Because OIC, we consider OIC as an important subject of our study to understand economic development among Muslim majority nations. The OIC Economic Outlook in 2023 report highlight that a significant portion of the total GDP of all OIC countries is produced by only a small number of members. For example, in 2022, about 49.6% of the total GDP came from just 5 countries. As we can see on the figure, on the slide, we classified 57 OIC members by their level income, and as we can see that lower middle income countries is the largest group in this group, and the second largest group is low income countries, and the third largest group is upper middle income countries, and there are only 8 countries that classified as high income countries. So based on this, our paper present a novel and significant contribution to the study of economic development in OIC countries for an income perspective. The variation in income levels among OIC countries highlight the economic inequality present among the organization member states, because it is so urgent to enhance productivity on the country to improve their level income. So we examine the role of key factors such as monetary policy and economic digitalization in relation to income levels in each OIC member country, including low income, lower middle income, upper middle income nations, and we use ERDL method to estimate both short-term and long-term impacts. Next. Please, next slide. Okay. So we move to the literature review and theoretical framework, how the convergence can occur. In the concept of economic convergence, economic inequality between developed and developing countries should be reduced by increasing per capita income faster in lower income countries compared to high income countries. Developing countries must catch up with their more advanced counterparts. Convergence can be viewed relatively in terms of growth rates, which should be higher in developing countries, or absolutely in terms of increasing
I get lost. Any problem? Basri, something happening with your connection.
Okay, baik. I will be continue presenting our research because Mr. Akbar bad connect more. Okay. This slide, the result of research figure 1 shows the economic growth rates of various OECD countries. Different income levels convergent out at times, but growth rates are always fluctuating. Low income, lower middle, and upper middle income countries sometimes experience higher growth and then high income countries, while at other times they lack. However, the variation in per capita income levels among member countries indicate household convergence has not been fully achieved. And Table 1 show long run and short-run effect result. Table 1 show the result of long-term estimate indicated that interest rate has a positive significant effect, and broad money show negative but significant result in the short term, whereas in the long-term estimate it has negative and significant effect. ICT development shows surprising result as it has a significant positive effect in the long term. Still, it has a negative significant effect on GDP capita in the short term. Okay, this slide show short and country scientific result on 38 OECD countries member for most low middle income countries and upper middle income countries. Interest rate increase tend to rise per capita income, while for most LIC countries, the relationship is negative. This negative relation, Keynesian intersection theory, which the positive interest relation between interest rate and income. And the positive relation is described the long-term effect and consistent like cycle hypothesis developed by Franco Modigliani. Yeah, and although a country economic required adequate money supply, monetary policy must be carefully managed. The positive impact monetary policy and income in place only to few countries, including Benin, Lebanon, and Uzbekistan. Okay, and the conclusion or research, the author find that monetary policy is crucial in mitigating economic shock that lead income fluctuation. Okay, maybe it's time of that's up for me. Thank you so much for attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Basri, for a good presentation. I'll be the first commentator for this topic, and if time there will be time remaining, then I will invite Ibu Nuris and Pak Rani to give comments. My first comment will be that when you measure the impact of monetary policy, why do you simplify that monetary policy can be represented by interest rate? I mean, there are other aspects too to proxy monetary policy, for instance, by for instance, money supply, and then, for instance, reserve requirement ratio, or for instance, the way central bank conduct open market operations. Yeah, in Indonesia we have SBRI, for instance. How do you see interest rate as the only monetary indicators you are using in the model? Do you get the point? Do you understand my question? Okay, I'll repeat in bahasa Indonesia ya. Mengapa kamu menggunakan tingkat suku bunga sebagai alat untuk menggambarkan kebijakan moneter? Padahal kebijakan moneter itu banyak banget. Ada yang pakai OMO, open market operation, ada yang pakai reserve requirement ratio, ada yang pakai diskonto, rate diskonto gitu. Is it enough? Apakah cukup menggunakan interest rate to reflect the effectiveness of monetary policy? That's one thing. The second thing, menggunakan variable ICT apa untuk menggambarkan the adoption of ICT in your model? Because it's only say ICT. Is it broadband? Is it mobile phone? Is it social media users? Is it what? Yeah. Well, maybe you can exemplify what you are doing really in the model. Yeah, any comments? Basri ada. If you think.
Oke. Baik, kami akan jawab saja. Mengenai pertanyaan yang terakhir itu mengenai ICT development, kami menggunakan jumlah layanan telepon yang menggunakan variabel kami dapatkan dari World Bank.
Dan pertanyaan pertama?
Kemudian pertanyaan yang pertama itu kami menggunakan variabel suku bunga karena kenapa pada saat pencarian literatur itu di khususnya sesi statistika yang dikembangkan oleh OECD countries itu suku bunga merupakan hal yang sangat penting khususnya dalam pengembangan ekonomi OECD countries. Kemudian dari beberapa yang diajukan tadi, beberapa kebijakan moneter yang sekiranya bisa dipertimbangkan, tetapi pada saat menguji kecocokan data menggunakan software dan model yang kami gunakan, ternyata hanya variabel ini mungkin yang lebih cocok dan sesuai yang bisa kami jelaskan dalam penelitian ini. Beberapa memang variabel yang kami coba untuk menguji dampaknya terhadap GDP kapita, tetapi inilah variabel yang mungkin sekiranya bisa relevan dan sesuai dengan model. Mungkin hanya itu yang bisa kami sampaikan.
Ya, oke. If that is the case, kalau memang seperti itu, when you write in the article, when you write in the article, you have to put all variable together. Ini kan quantitative study ya. Kalau quantitative study, then people will see the evidence. People will not see the story. People will see the numbers, what the number tells you about. Gimana angkanya? You cannot say ceritanya. And this is the distinctive aspect ya. All methodology leads to Rome. Semua metodologi kalau bagus, hasil studinya akan bagus. Tapi you have to understand when you are using quantitative study, kalau kita menggunakan quantitative study, orang akan membaca angkanya, bukan orang membaca ceritanya. So what I'm saying to do adalah you have to put semuanya variabel, kemudian menjelaskan, oh ini nggak signifikan, itu nggak signifikan. Bukan angkanya disembunyikan di lemari, kemudian oh dia nggak signifikan kok, but I don't see where is it, where is it when you say it is insignificant? Tell me, evidence-nya seperti apa? Because when you hide something, sekali orang hide something, orang akan berpikir you do hiding now, is it occasionally atau you hide forever? Jadi itu yang harus diperhatikan. Kalian masih muda, sebagai researcher muda, you have to be transparent with your study. Otherwise, trust is the most important thing. Ilmuwan tuh apa sih yang dijual? Trust. Ilmuwan kalau orang udah nggak trust, kamu sebagus apapun papernya, orang nggak akan baca. And trust is started by the transparency when using the data and transparency when presenting the result. But you fail to qualify those transparencies, then the credibility of your study will be in question. So that's my comment. Maybe Pak Roni, please, I invite you to give comment too. Time is still 2 minutes.
Thank you, Pak Dr. Ibrahim. Maybe I just need to add what Pak Dr. Ibrahim highlight, and then from my perspective, Basri and friend, I think you need to more careful to make conclusion regarding the impact of something, especially when you put it in the aspect of economic, because there are so many readers that has capacity to make conclusion. Is this A affected B, and so on, as Pak Ibrahim mentioned. And then the second one, I think you also need to increase the readability, or what can you say, the aspect of writing. I think you need to improve the grammatical aspect of your writing. I think that's all from me, Pak Ibrahim. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pak Roni. I think we still have 1 minute. Maybe Bu Nuris, you have some comments?
I have no idea. I'm sorry, Pak Ibrahim.
Okay.
Just similar like what you were saying. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ibu. So thank you so much, Basri and friends, for presenting a quite interesting paper, Basri and Muhammad Akbar. Give applause to Basri and Akbar, and good luck for the future journey. Let's move on. As Ibu Amana will go, then we'll prioritize 2 groups where Ibu Amana Nuris is the main judge. Let's go with Fathullah Zarkasi.
Okay.
Fathullah Zarkasi, are you ready?
Yes, thank you. I will try to share my screen.
Yes, please.
Please wait a moment. Okay. Yes. Wait a moment. Still processing. Okay. Sunan Kalijaga and the Honorable Dear Committee, thank you before that. I would like to present my paper, my research paper.
Sorry, in my computer, I couldn't see yet. Bu Nuris, do you see?
No, I cannot see it.
So the slide has not yet been shown in our laptop. So please, maybe you can reshare. Stop sharing and reshare again.
Dear Kaisa, could you help me to share my screenshot? Could you help me, please? Signal in here is lower.
Okay, Panitia, maybe you can help. If you already have the slide, can you please help Zarkasi to share his slide?
Maybe the slide with Mas Ipul. Mas Ipul, please help share the presentation slide.
I have problem the signal in place.
Yeah, Mas Ipul, are you there? Pak Ipul?
Mohon maaf Pak Fatullah Zakarsi, mungkin bisa di-share lagi Mas, Pak, karena di email tidak ditemukan slide-nya, Pak.
Okay, Mas Fatullah, slide-nya we couldn't find your slide.
Via WA aja. Bentar Mas. Maaf.
Okay.
Well, I cannot see anything. I cannot see anything. Bu Nuris, can you see anything? No?
Me too. I cannot see anything. Or
Okay.
I can just give comment because I read your paper.
Okay, good. Maybe that will be helpful, Bu. Please go ahead, Bu.
Okay, because this is too complicated for me. I have no time because soon I will have to, travel. Well, Mas Zarkasi, Fatullah Zarkasi, can you just show us your paper, please?
Okay, I will try to tell you WhatsApp group.
Okay, I can show your paper and then you have to present. What do you think?
Yeah. Okay, my paper, Sunan Kalijaga and Diplomatic Politics.
Okay, please show us your paper. This is not usually, yeah, in the presentation you are still busy with your material. Please don't wait too long.
This is I try to. Yeah, this is my paper. I was seeing from the moderator. Okay. Sunan Kalijaga and Diplomatic Politics in Perspective Suluk-Linggau, that Sunan Kalijaga, a historical actor in the spreading of religion and culture in the ascent of Java in 15th and 16th centuries. It also, this method, I will try to the hermeneutic method, the interpretation. So reading, understanding, and collaborating with the meaning of Suluk-Linggau. And then until now, we can see the result of the Suluk-Linggau teaching, ideology, and arts such as dance, music, building, and others. So from here, the best collaboration that doing Sunan Kalijaga is collaborating education and diplomacy. That is a briefly explanation for me. Yeah, what is diplomacy? From this paper, I will try to collaborate from other scholar that I was trying to cheat. Okay, move under. Yeah. Hermeneutics, reading, understanding, and collaborating, especially from Kedemor. Okay, move other. Yeah, number 2 is online and digital diplomacy. Online and digital diplomacy. Anne et al. 2023 as explained that digital information is less important. We must face-to-face diplomacy, face-to-face meeting. Although online and digital diplomacy is interesting, but face-to-face is more interesting. And move, please. I'm sorry I cannot attend to the class in the Kenari Central Jakarta. I have class meeting in here, but in here the signal is lower. I don't know what happened. This I will try to explain for this paper, site forum, scholar, in other words, national, international journal. Hopefully I can publish this paper to the journals. Okay, number 4, diplomacy in Suluk-Linggau Sunan Kalijaga, Wahida 2023 decided the Wali Songo, Sunan Kalijaga was one of the Wali Songo, many creative videos, many more. So especially in diplomation word is not in the suluk linglung, but we can understand from the result of Sunan Kalijaga until now, music, arts, building, and many more that use diplomatic as well to understand many people, many problems, and others. Please, Andrew, move. Yeah, this is chapter from 1 until 6 that I will try to using method hermeneutics, the conclusion. I cannot put it as well because maybe the signal from here is lower. The written that I was look is not clear. Okay, this is my short presentation, dear honorable committee.
Okay, thank you, Fathullah. Bu Nuris, please give your comment.
Thank you, Bapak Dr. Ibrahim, and thank you, Bapak Fatullah Zarkasi, for your presentations. I think maybe I merely give short comments on your paper because I have no more ideas to comment. That's the case. First of all, my suggestion is that when you write academic paper, you should consider deeply and seriously what kind of language that you use. If you write in English, make sure you have capacity to do so. Otherwise, sorry. Otherwise, it will be wasting time. So when you write in English, make sure prepare to write in English with good academic writing styles. If you are not able to write in English, I don't think you have to. So good paper is not about English. This is what make most of Indonesian people misunderstood. When you write paper in English, then your idea will be good. No, the good thing is your original idea. Whatever, English or Indonesia or Japanese or whatever. So language is the second tool in writings, but the original idea is the main material that you have to present. So in this paper, I think it's not complete yet. Yeah, to be honest, in terms of structures, it is like switch from one idea to another idea. You mentioned about suluk, for example. What does suluk linglung mean? You even did not mention about this term. As anthropologists, it sounds very interesting. I think this paper, if you can develop better in the structure, it will be very good. Speaking about suluk linglung of Sunan Kalijaga, for example. But you mentioned about diplomations. There is no diplomation in English words. Instead of diplomacy is the correct one. So, Pak Fathullah, I think it is okay if you write in the original language, which can make you better. That's my suggestions. And then this is not the only one, so please don't feel offended for my comments. Yeah, for everybody, even I myself, we are foreign. We are not native English speaker. So I can understand. Please also, I becomes reviewers in many journals and always suggest to the chief editor or reviewers or colleagues, please don't force authors to write in English. If it is like requirement, it will be useless. This case sometimes happens, Pak Ibrahim. So Sunan Kalijaga diplomacy, and then you mentioned about suluk, linglung. This is Javanese term in anthropology. And then you also mentioned about digital activism, like something online and digital diplomacy, what I mean to say. This is really, really far away from the methodology that you use in your study. So I suggest you to develop more research questions, and then the theory, and then methodology to make it better. Why don't you focus on Sunan Kalijaga, for example, Sunan Kalijaga Suluk Linglung? That's very interesting in anthropological approach. You don't have to mention about diplomacy, for example. You can mention how Sunan Kalijaga brought Islamic influence in Javanese islands using Suluk Linglung in this perspective, you know. During Sunan Kalijaga, the way people mention diplomacy was very, very unusual. So this is what I mean to say is not really clear with the idea. So my suggestion is that writing in Bahasa Indonesia better, and then if you like to write in English, make sure that you are able to make like more reputable international journal. This is like the process of writing. So Pak Fahrullah, it doesn't mean it is bad, but it needs more process in your case. The idea is good about Suluk Linglung. If you can develop in the sociological or anthropological perspective, it is something like not many people focusing on this topic. So you can develop on this term instead of diplomatic issue. This is my suggestion. Thank you, Pak Ibrahim.
Thank you so much, Ibu Nuris. Thank you, Mas Fathullah Zarkasi. Please give a big applause to Pak Zarkasi. Despite all the challenges and the internet connection, he managed to present. He managed to come and to present. So big appreciation, and please take all comments from Ibu Nuris as way to improve your future study and for future career of your aspiration. So next up, I will invite Abel Josaphat Manulang. Abel, are you here? We prioritize all under Bu
Yes, I'm
Nuris
present.
presentation. So please, Abel, you have 7 minutes to present, and Ibu Nuris will have 8 minutes to have discussion with you. The floor is yours.
Very well. Thank you for the opening, sir. But I'd like to check on the share screen. Is it okay? Is it visible for everyone in the Zoom meeting?
It is clear and bold.
Very well. Thank you. So again, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Abel Josephat Manulang, and I'm presenting this paper that were made in collaboration with my peers from, that is Anna and Yuswa. So the title is Thou Shall Not Return, an analysis of Indonesia's decision in not repatriating the ex-ISIS members. So to start things off, following the collapse in 2019, ISIS has been declared defeated, as fake as it is, especially given its recent return in Middle East and some vestiges in Europe. However, returning to the times following its collapse, the international community is faced with one pressing matter, that being the fate of its foreign fighters who are now stateless and have nowhere to return to. And among the many countries that are being referenced there, Indonesia happens to be one of them, with more than 500 foreign fighters who are now stateless and unable to go home. And an interesting point here is how, despite the desire from them to return, the Indonesian government has made it clear that it has no desire to let them return whatsoever. And this just demonstrates an interesting point regarding how national interest, specifically one pertaining to national security, can at times overcome an international regime like the global human rights that quite cater to the fate of those former foreign fighters. So when it comes to understanding the aforementioned initiative, it is important to take into account the interests of Indonesia. Why Indonesia settled on that move? So to understand that, we can refer to the rational choice theory that has four elements. Problem definition, to understand what exactly is the problem. Goal selection, to understand what goals, interests that the discussed actor wish to pursue. Option identification, where we can understand what options said actor can choose. And finally, the choice, where we can see which of the aforementioned options the actor would settle with. So to make it brief, this is the result of said theory application. And here we can see how the problem at hand would be the fate of Indonesians who happen to partook in ISIS reign of terror and are now stateless with nowhere to return home. And the goals or interests here would be Indonesia's desire to maintain its national security as an important element that encompasses a lot of other security dimensions. Specifically speaking, the human security of those in the country and the regional security, given the severity of terrorism as a non-state threat to not only Indonesia but Southeast Asia, the home region of Indonesia. And as for the options, it can be seen that the fork on the road would be either the choice to let them return home or to reject them, leaving them stranded. And the final choice that the government settled with would be to deny them the access to go home. And the eventual denial of return that also blocks the prospect of restorative justice or the international human rights regime for those foreign fighters is an interesting matter, given how rather unusual the stench could be. But nonetheless, such a thing has actually been discussed in other countries, notably those in Europe, where instead of rejecting their respective foreign fighters, they actually let them in and allowed them to reintegrate into society through a true process of de-radicalization, which, despite the ups and downs, have met its own degree of success. And it also shows how, despite Indonesia's past record of adherence or participation in international regimes in, for example, the fate of stateless persons, when it comes to its own national security that puts at stake a lot of things, even as far as its own survival, such a commitment or the need to address the issue could simply be brushed off. And again, to make it brief, this move demonstrates how, again, such a commitment that has been tailored through numerous involvement in international fora, international agreements, can simply be brushed off. Sorry for the crude terms, but such is the case given the primacy of national interests that makes it important for states to keep it safe at all costs, even if the means is somewhat controversial or immoral at worst. And the primacy of national security would at times, like in this case, cost the human security of those others, that being the foreign fighters in this case. And again, the bottom line of this paper would be how the primacy of national interest can brush off those of human security, especially those who happen to be in the antagonistic light of the problem, and how at the end of the day, states as a rational actor have a lot to gain in maintaining their own national security. So that would be a brief summary of my work, and again, thank you for the time and attention.
Sorry, are you done with presenting, Josephat?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please, Bu Nuris, I hand over the microphone to you.
All right, thank this is qualitative research, right? How do you gather your primary and secondary data in your article?
Very well. Thank you for the question. So, in the formulation of this work, we primarily settled with internet-based research, meaning that the primary and secondary data were procured from the internet. So, for example, the secondary one would be source media coverage, whereas the primary counterpart or organization report to those from the governments and sometimes the press conference taking place following the discussed event, and yeah, I think those are the case of those two datas.
Okay, I'm just curious, how did you get the data? Because on your title, please make me sure this is actually what you are seeking on your research, ex-ISIS members or the Indonesian diplomacy process on this case, because I think you are from Department of International Relations, yeah? Why don't you focus on regulations of the ex-ISIS members instead of an analysis of Indonesian decision, blah 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 blah, which is still abstract in my opinion, as we are concerned about terrorism studies in our department. Somehow you need to put Indonesian case studies more deeply rather than more general. Here I did not see, let's say on your country samples, yeah, Switzerland, blah, blah, blah. I even didn't see any Indonesian context, Indonesian context, not samples. In this kind of samples, you mentioned about samples to other countries, but what happens with Indonesia? It will be more interesting. I mean, on your title, you mentioned clearly about Indonesian decisions, or you just better focus on the, government decision, not decision, law enforcement. Ya, kebetulan saya membimbing tesis tentang ini, Mas. Jadi saya agak menyayangkan kalau Mas Joseph itu hanya berbicara tentang konsep generalnya, seperti itu. So my suggestion is that you can add more informations about how Indonesian country to process this kind of regulations on the ex-ISIS, because this is still debatable, isn't it? This is still debatable issue. Ya, untuk memulangkan ex-ISIS di Turki, contohnya, itu masih sangat debatable dan sedang diproses tentang itu. So why don't you focus or at least put some informations about this? If I read your paper, for general idea is like taking samples in this to another, which is not focus. This is what I need to say. What do you think, Mas Joseph?
All right, thank you for the inquiry. Then, regarding the focus of this paper, yes, instead of focusing our gaze on the diplomatic process, given our background, we settled with the forthcoming decision, that being the move to not let them return home to Indonesia because of, well, at least back then, in my class specifically, it was mentioned how, despite the move of some European states to allow those a true process of the radicalization, Indonesia just, at least from what I can remember, outright denied their return. So that happened to be what piqued my interest back then. And regarding the focus or the general nature of the content or the analysis, I think it eventually came down to how this is not a recent work of me and my friends. Rather, it was an old work that I made a few years back, that we decided to revisit and see what we can do to further improve it. Hence, the rather unfocused approach or piecemeal description of the issues or problems in the paper.
Okay.
So
okay, Mas Joseph.
I'm thankful for the.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Because I have no more time after this. I have to soon go to the airport. Let me give you a suggestion. If I were you, from the beginning, I would say Indonesian case studies on ISIS ex-ISIS members, and then the second part you focus on the regulations, because this is now developing issue in our Kementerian Luar Negeri itu sedang digodok. So you have to look at the recent issues about this case. So this will be new things if you renew your idea, more focus on Indonesian ex-ISIS members or internees. And then in your background, if I were you, I will focus on the documents, supporting documents on this case. This will be very specific, focus, and then make it clear. Okay? That's my suggestion for your paper, and I wish you all the best and good luck for this article. Thank you, Pak Ibrahim.
Thank you so much, Ibu Nuris. Thank you, Josephat and friends, for the very interesting presentation. Big applause for Josephat, and thank you, Bu Nuris, for the commitment and for sharing your comments on this program. And all the best luck, and have a nice journey wherever you are going to the airport now. So thank you so much. Let's move on to the next presentation. I will invite the group for Gadjah Mada University, Wida, Prayudi, and Novat on the role of effective governance on Islamic social finance. Thank you, Bu Nuris. Have good weekend, and see you soon in another occasion. Thank you.
Is my screen already appeared?
Yeah, it is clear and bold. So please go ahead.
Okay.
Can you turn off one of your friends so that the loop cannot be can be avoided?
Okay. Wait. Yes. Is it clear? Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I want to present about the role of effective governance on Islamic social finance management during crisis pandemic. This is the case of the mosque in Jakarta. So we took the samples from the mosque in Jakarta. Yeah, we will go on. So the background is Islamic social finance consists of zakat, infaq, sadaqah, and wakaf, aimed at community welfare enhancement. And ISF donations serve as vital resource for community resilience amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Puska shows Indonesia zakat collecting in 2000 and 2022 increased by 84.16% than a year ago. Therefore, there is a high ZISWAP donations which coming or inflow into the mosque donations. And the economic uncertainty brought on by the pandemic has heightened the need for effective governance in financial management. To manage this enormous fund, we need good governance, which is still limited in the study about the good governance in mosques. An objective of the research questions, first, to analyze the relationship between governance practice and the flow of Islamic social finance donation. And the second is to investigate how improved governance and communication strategies contribute to sustain or increase ISF donations. Not only increase, but also sustain, because it's important for the mosque resilience. And the third is to provide insights into the best practice in governance and transparency that mosques can adopt to strengthen financial contributions and community trust, as well as mosque financial planning. So the research question is, how is the effect of good governance factors on mosque fundraisings and planning during COVID-19 in mosque Yogyakarta? This is the we can skip this. This is the respondent of that we took. So there are 7 aspects of the good governance that we measure. First is the inclusivity, and the second is the justice, and the third is legitimacy, the fourth is transparency, and the fifth is performance, and the sixth is policy directions, and the last is accountability. So to triangulate the results of this survey and also in-depth interviews, we took not only to the committee of mosques, but also to the worshippers. So we took the side from the worshippers and also from the aspects from the committee, because we want to triangulate the findings. And the research method, we collect the survey to capture the detailed information about governance practices, level of transparency, and patterns of these swap donations during the pandemic. Both closed and open-ended questions were included. And the second is to comprehensive samples of 437 mosques in Jakarta provides robust data for analyzing governance effects on these foundations, because we took the samples for about certain districts in Jakarta. This sample is quite enough for the research in quantitative method. And the model with utilizing OLS in logistics regression models for precise analysis of factors that influencing donation patterns and also most financial planning characteristics such as mosque, age, size, and good governance and donations were analyzed. And this is the variable that we use. We use the variable infaq balance, zakat amount, planning document, and financial document as the final variable dependent. And we took the other rest of the variable as the independent variables, in which we focus on the 7 aspects of the good governance, which aspects that influence the most to the financial planning and also the amount of this wealth. And this is the status descriptive. We use most of them as a variable dummy. And therefore, for the infaq balance, we cannot use the variable dummy. Therefore, we use the nominal value. We use the OLS in this case, and the other aspects of it, for example, planning document and financial document, we use the logistic regressions model. And this is the model that we used. We use the OLS, in which we control for the rest of the variables, which in good governance, we respect as 7 factors that contribute to the good governance factors. And for the logistics, dependent variable, in which if the mosque had planning document and financial document, they denoted one, and otherwise if not. And based on our regressions, we found that the factors that impacted the impact contributions is the inclusivity and transparency, because the inclusivity and transparency will increase the trust and also donor confidence. Therefore, will increase to the ZISWAF donations. Therefore, it enhances also the important factors of the good governance to the ZISWAF donations. And the second is the effect of good governance on most crowdfunding, especially zakat amount. And the previous is we focus on infaq. And the second is we focus on the zakat amount, because why we differentiate it? Because based on the regressions, we found that there are different characteristics of the zakat and also to the infaq. Infaq is based on the voluntarily aspects, and zakat is based on the obligations, because our religion obligate us to do the zakat. Therefore, it will have different factors that contribute to the zakat and also infaq donations. And the third is the effect of governance on mosque financial management. We have hypothesis that the mosque with good governance will have better financial management, because they have better knowledge on financial planning, and they have better financial management. Therefore, they will have better documentation in terms of financial report. And we found that there are 2 factors that influence to the mosque financial management. Therefore, we found that performance, accountability, and media usage is the factors that affect to the mosque financial management. And last is the effect of governance on mosque planning document. We will differentiate the mosque planning and also mosque financial planning, because there are 2 different aspects. If the mosque financial planning report elaborates the financial reports, the mosque planning document elaborates about the vision mission of the mosque. So mosque will have the future planning for about 5 up to 10 years, like we call it the mosque planning document. And this aspect is performance and transparency will have, as well as performance and transparency are combined with transparency, are essential for effective governance in ISF. And discussions, accountability and donations. Regression analysis illustrate that enhanced accountability and transparency significantly increase donor trust, therefore boosting donation levels. And for the transparency correlates positively with higher ZISWAF donations. especially during crisis situations like COVID-19 pandemic. And for the financial planning, the media, also transparency and performance being the factors that influence to the development of that better financial planning management, because the media will being the monitoring aspects from the community aspects that there will have the exposure of the financial planning document. And transparency will enhance community engagement, therefore development, donor trust, and impact the ZISWA contributions. Another good governance factors, in this case, accountability is essential for their financial support decisions. Therefore, in the recommendation is, therefore, in the future, if the most want to better having better planning and better donations, they must enhance the good governance aspects, and Kemenak through SIMAS, System Informasi Management Masjid, also must support for this accountability and also performance and also transparency aspect. Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
yes.
much, Wida. Please consider the timing allocation. Just wonder, can you refer back to the econometric equation you presented, please?
Okay. Right.
Can you get back to the original equation, please?
Yes.
So the logit model, what is the dependent variable?
The dependent variable is most planning document and finance document.
And what is the independent variable?
The independent variable is inclusivity, fairness, performance, transparency, legitimacy, accountability, and the rest is in this. Yeah.
Okay, so
It's also age of malls, and also the size of malls, the media, and also the aspects of the committee, socio-demographic. For example, chairperson age, committee chairperson age, for chairperson tenure, and also chairperson is educations. Because we see from the literature that these aspects also influence, but in this case, there's no effect on that.
So the left-hand side is the governance measure, is it?
Yes.
The left-hand side is governance measures. Okay. And
Yeah.
what is the YI?
YI.
In the OLS?
Yes. The YI is the number of infaq and number of zakat donations.
Very good.
Yeah. In terms of nominal value.
Okay. So what I'm suggesting you to do is actually and what is the good governance in Bitawan?
The good governance is the 7 aspects of the good governance. That is transparency, inclusivity, fairness, performance, legitimacy, accountability, and perform policy directions.
So you use the same covariates in left-hand side and right-hand side, is it?
Yes.
Okay. What I want you to do is actually good governance is not directly linked with YI, but instead it will go through P.
Oh,
So that's kind of indigeneity model, two states least square. So
also
basically the outcome variable in YI is more impacted by P. Yeah. Whereas P is impacted by good governance. So I think that will be to me more realistic measures. So that when you use P means whether the mosque is becoming more governed, right? P is 10 to determine whether the mosque is becoming more governed, and it's influenced by qualification of mosque officers and staff. Am I correct?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So I think it should be better to have two states least square.
Okay.
So instead of having to separate regression, you use subsequent analysis, where first you measure P likelihood based on probit or logit, and then the result of P is being used in OLS on your left-hand side. So that it is more subsequent analysis. Do you get the point?
Yes, very
You
clear.
understand that?
Thank you,
Yeah, okay, very
Mr.
good.
Ibrahim.
Yeah,
So
please
for
go
the
ahead.
instrumental variable, did you have like suggestion for me? Because to find the instrumental variable, we need to do the Indonesian, etc. Therefore, do you have any suggestion or based on your knowledge, based on your experience?
That's instrumental variable. You have to ask the anthropologist because it's more into anthropology field rather than econometric field. So something, basically something that impact P, but it's not impact Y, right?
That's true.
That's the instrument. My suggestion would be that, which maybe not not a very popular one. So you have how many mosques in the analysis?
473, am I not mistaken?
Listen, Wida. Actually, it can be going through very, very good journal. Yeah, if you manage the analysis better, I can recommend you to go to. Well, our journal is also good. Yeah, Pak Roni, our journal is also good. But of course, with your capacity and the topic, you can go to even word development or any high level journal. So what I suggest to you, for instance, the instrument will be like either the mosque is owned by Salafi movement or NU or Muhammad.
Yeah.
That will impact P, but probably not impact Y. So that will be good. Yeah. Or whether I don't know whether it is affiliated with particular parties, for instance, or not. So any it's play around. I mean, something that correlate with P but not correlate with Y is something you have to test on and on. Yeah, which I cannot say for now unless I get the data, right? So that probably something you can take a look on instrument variable. And probably I don't really see the pandemic aspect in the analysis. Do you? How do you measure? Do you use dummy variable to reflect? Because I assume this is cross-section analysis, right?
Yes, this is cross sections, but the data collection is conducted during pandemic. Therefore, the question is, during pandemic, how much is your donations compared to the previous years? How much is your zakat compared to the previous years? And also, do you have spending document before and after the COVID pandemic? So is there any differences between but I don't have the database line, therefore I cannot doing difference in different.
What I suggest you to do, because you already have the data during the pandemic, right? Maybe you can resurvey after the pandemic. So you have pre and post event. I mean, you already asked how much money do you spend during the pandemic compared to previous one, but that's more subjective, right? Sometimes if somebody is really hamba Allah, he will forget kemarin nyumbang berapa ya. I mean, they're not bookkeeping all the spending. But if you ask how much money do you spend during pandemic, probably they remember. And then you cross check again with the recent survey. How much money do you spend now for this? Then you can have like comparison before and after pandemic. So I think that will be strategy. But all in all, this is really good one, and potentially it can be publishable. I think beyond MIS, you can try for even GAP or other journal which also reaching much more a nuanced topic like this. So thank you, Wida. Pak Roni, do you have any more comments?
I think enough, Pak Ibrahim.
Okay.
A lot of insight from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pak Roni. Let's move on, and now will be Pak Roni's task to review Yuda Pratama on the urgency of official non-halal labels in restaurants as a customer protection in Indonesia. Yuda, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Sir Ibrahim Rahman. Excuse me, Pak Saiful, can you help me share my presidency? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Yuda Pratama Putra from Indonesia University. This is opportunity. In this opportunity, I would like to share about urgency, the urgency of official non-halal labels in restaurant as a consumer protection in Indonesia. Next, in Islam, consuming food is well regulated, so that Muslims do not fall into what is haram. In Indonesia, especially as a country with the large Muslim population, provides an opportunity for halal principles to be guaranteed constitutionally. BPJPH emphasizes that product originating from non-halal or non-halal material are excluded from the halal certification obligation. This follows the provision of law number 33 of 2014, Article 92, that business actor production product from prohibited material must include information that they are not halal. Non-halal information can be in the form, image, sign, and writing print on product packaging, certain part of the product, or certain flies on the product. Moreover, law number 30 and government regulation number 30, please back slide. Also regulated the inclusion of non-halal information as intended in Article 92 and Article 93 must be easy to see and read and not easily erase, remove, and damage following the provision of statutory regulation. The statement that is not halal, that statement that is not halal is also mandatory because this obligation is also regulated by law number 33 of 2014 concerning halal product warranties. The government is to focus on socialization and effort to improve certified halal product. We have often hear that the obligation to be certified halal for product for food product beverages, slaughter product, and slaughter service will be effective on October 17, 2024. The government road BPJPH is intensively conducting socialization and education to business actor and the public regarding halal certification obligation. The halal certification program is very important to protect Muslim customer from non-halal product. For product that are halal certified, business actor are required to include halal label that is easily visible. Next. The halal certified obligation only applies to product with completely halal ingredient. Meanwhile, product that use non-halal ingredients such as pork and wine cannot possibly get halal certified. So what are the consequences of implementing law number 33 of 2014 concerning halal product warranties UUJPH on product the contain haram ingredient? Referring to article please, referring to article 26 of the JPH law, business actor will produce product from prohibited material and exempt for the obligation to apply for halal certificate. On the other hand, business holder are required to include non-halal information on their product. the explanation of Article 26 of the JPH law, influencing as a non-halal statement that cannot be separated from the product. The form can be in the form of image, sign, of writing. Next. In 2018, the head of the Halal Regulation and Certification Center of the Halal Product, BPJPH of the Ministry of Religion, Siti Amanah, explained that her party will regulate the use of non-halal labels for non-halal product is the Minister of Religion Regulation. This statement is expected to be the first step to providing clarity and protection for Muslim consumer in identifying product that do not comply with halal principles. However, to that, this plan has not been realized, and the official non-halal level is still not widely implemented. Next. Before halal certificate was carried out by MOE in 1989, halal level of food product in Indonesia had begun at the end of 1976 by the Ministry of Health to be phrases on November 10. All food and drink content pork or its derivatives and to provide identification that the food contained pork. This is regulated in the decree of the Minister of Health of the Republic of Indonesia. Concerning provision for the distribution and marketing of food containing ingredient derived from pork. Next. Next, please. Based on the background report research were carried out, regional level design and macro which will use science of visual communication design or support the design process. In research, I'm to produce optional non-halal label is from the sticker that can be affect to restaurant price. Next, result and discussion. Like this methodology. The research use qualitative method that will discuss the design of visual non-halal labels applied in the restaurant based on the three categories: non-halal, halal in registration, and halal be compromised. The teacher use visual communication design approach to design non-halal label that will be applied to a restaurant and place.
Okay, time is up. Do you have anything to add more? Yuda?
All right, thank you very much. I will return to Pak Ibrahim.
Thank you very much.
Sorry,
Please.
overload for material.
Thank you, Yuda, and I will hand over the opportunity to Pak Saroni to give comments. Please, Pak.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ibrahim. And then for Pak Yuda, I have some comments. The first one is regarding the concept, or you say in the topic or the title of the article is the urgency, urgency of non-halal content, so we assume that in your article you propose that every restaurant in Indonesia have to declare whether the restaurant contain non-halal material or not, rather than just put halal, At the moment, we witness, we see some regulation from Indonesia that there are stakeholders that responsible for this. Rather than putting a non-halal brand in such a restaurant, I think in Indonesia it needs to make clarity, because there is transition from Majelis Ulama Indonesia to Ministry of Religious Affairs. In the past, MUI is responsible for halal STEM, but now it's moved or transferred to Ministry of Religious Affairs. In addition, government of Indonesia also tries to put the halal STEM as a requirement for all UMKM. In the future, all UMKM also have to put the halal STEM for their product. It takes time. So as a reflection, last week I went to Thailand, and then in Thailand they are considered the Muslim community as a potential market. That's why in their product they just put halal. So if you choose certain food, just find halal food. In the restaurant also they put the label. When you go to the restaurant and then do breakfast, they put the code. This food is contain pork and so on. So what I want to say is, in your article, in your paper, you try to propose some idea. We need to make three symbol. Rather than just one halal, but you propose three symbol. It's contain halal, half halal, and so on. I think this idea needs to be examined, before it's exposed to the public, because you're using the aspect of visual design to insist your argument. I think you need to make it clear that what is the basis argument of this idea, whether to protect the Muslim consumers or just to try to propose the idea that if you want to protect the consumer, you can use the label. So I think this is the second one. The third one, you also need to, I think you need to make it clear that regarding the transformation of regulation in Indonesia, because as you mentioned in your article, Indonesia is pioneer. I think Indonesia is one of the first country in Southeast Asia to establish the halal STEM. But at the moment, because of, I think, political consideration and so on, our neighboring country, more progressive, such as Malaysia and Thailand, they are more progressive in making this halal environment for Muslim consumers, and then it's good for tourism. So based on this illustration, what your comment, Pak Yuda, please?
Alright, thank you for insight for me. Mungkin saya akan menjelaskan dengan bahasa Indonesia ya Bapak, maaf izin.
Ya, silakan.
Jadi latar belakangnya mengatakan bahwa kenapa bisa hanya 3 simbol tadi ya Bapak. Itu berangkat dari Oktober atau pekan depan kita sudah diwajibkan halal. Di jurnal saya hanya membalas tentang penggunaan label halal di restoran, on restoran, karena banyak sekali restoran yang kalau sudah halal berarti restoran juga perlu label non halal. Terus bagaimana dengan restoran yang memang menjual makanan yang bercampur haram dan halal atau haram semuanya? Nah, dari analisis saya terhadap itu, saya menjadikan 3 kategori. Berarti tidak cukup untuk label non halal saja. Berarti perlu juga buat makanan yang perlu dikonfirmasi oleh konsumen apabila mereka ke sana. Apakah ini halal semua atau tidak? Karena ada beberapa restoran yang tidak bisa mendapatkan sertifikat halal. Nah, dengan itu saya memberikan solusi atau inovasi dengan perancang label ini. Kemudian di sini juga berangkat dari statement tahun 2018 karena mau mengatur tentang label halal, tapi sampai sekarang belum diatur. Nah, dari belakang itu saya juga mencoba memberikan ide kepada pemerintah terkait penerapan label ini, Pak. Sekian dari saya, Bapak.
Oke, ya mungkin sebagai tambahan ya. Jadi memang terkait dengan isu halal apa sektor ini ya. Jadi eh, tawaran tersebut tentu akan ini ya, tentu akan banyak sanggahannya gitu karena memang basisnya harus fokus begitu karena eh, yang ditawarkan Pak Yuda ini apakah sekedar visualisasi gitu ya atau di balik itu ya karena kalau visualisasi itu kan concernnya adalah anak-anak arsitektur atau desain grafis ya jadi bagaimana menunjukkan apa namanya produk tapi lebih dari itu isu perlindungan konsumen halal atau tidak ini memang itu yang perdebatannya panjang gitu ya apalagi kalau dipaksakan untuk mendeklar wah itu akan menjadi persoalan baru saya kira itu dan tentu saja perlu kajian lebih mendalam gitu ya sebelum dilempar ke publik. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih insight-nya Bapak.
Ya, time's up, Pak.
Thank you so much, Yuda, for the presentation. Let's move on to Aldrin Julian, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
Is my voice clear?
It's very clear. Please go ahead.
Okay. We are waiting for screen. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. The honorable of discussion chairs and all participants. We are from Al-Azhar University. I'm Aldin Bilan Azma with my friends. Safan Alam Atazkiyah and Muhammad Yahya Abdurrahman will present about navigating big data ethics and Islamic perspective based on Al-Atas Islamic worldview. So, I'll be discussing the intersection of big data ethics and Islamic thought, specifically through the lens of Syed Muhammad Nafi Al-Atas worldview. As big data becomes increasingly important across various sectors, ethical concerns arise, particularly about privacy, transparency, and misuse. There are several ethical concerns associated with big data, especially when it is governed by secular practice. Number one is privacy violation. For example, in 2014, the UK's Care Data program centralized patient data without proper consent. The second one is bias in algorithm. Algorithm used in hiring or policing can discriminate against certain groups if they're based on biased data sets. And number three is exploitation of personal data. Case like Cambridge Analytica in 2018, where personal information was misused to influence political outcomes, show how easily big data can be exploited for personal gain. This example highlight the urgent need for ethical framework that prioritize human dignity, fairness, and accountability. And Al-Atas Islamic worldview provides a moral framework that can guide us in addressing this challenge. So what is big data? Big data refers to the massive volume and variety of data generated by digital interaction, whether through social media, health records, or financial transaction. With the rise of technologies like smartphones and artificial intelligence, big data is not just growing in size, but it's also becoming more integrated into decision-making processes in sectors like healthcare, business, and government. However, without proper ethical frameworks, this immense data can be misused, leading to violation of privacy and human rights. In this paper, we use qualitative methods with descriptive analysis approach from all other primary sources and big data and related ones to find the contextualization of Al-Atas Islamic worldview to big data. Al-Atas is critical of secularism, which separates religion from everyday life, including ethical decision-making. In the context of big data, secularism often leads to data being used for personal gain without consideration for moral or ethical consequences. For example, number one, corporate exploitation. Companies like Facebook have been found selling user data without transparency, leading to trust issues and ethical violation. Number two, lack of consent. Secular practice often treat data as a resource to be exploited, not something that belongs to individuals. This approach disregards the moral need for informed consent, as seen in the UK care.data case in 2014. Next. Okay. Saint Muhammad Naqib Al-Atas, a renowned Islamic scholar, provides a unique perspective on ethics through his concept of Islamic worldview. His approach emphasizes several key concepts. Number one is human nature. Humans are naturally inclined towards recognizing and practicing ethical behavior. Number two, manners or adab. A disciplined way of thinking and aligns with moral and ethical principles. Number three is knowledge and wisdom, or ilm and hikmah. The interconnection between knowledge and wisdom, as well as Islamic values, underscores the necessity for the appropriate utilization of scientific knowledge. And the last one is Islamization of knowledge, integrating Islamic values into all fields, including science and technology, to ensure that knowledge serves the common good and aligns with moral truth. And this contextualization or applying Al-Atas worldview to big data ethics. Number one, human nature or fitra. Al-Atas teach that humans are naturally inclined toward ethical behavior in big data. This means data handlers should respect privacy and not exploit individuals for profit. Human nature, as understood by Al-Atas, would require the data collection processes prioritize consent and transparency. Number two, manners and adab. Adab emphasize honesty and respect in interaction. Applied to big data, this means handling data responsibility, ensuring accuracy, and preventing misuse. If government and corporation applied adab, they would avoid data exploitation, ensuring that the information collected is used ethically, and with respect for personal privacy. Number two is knowledge and wisdom, Islam and ilmu and hikmah. Data must be used wisely. This means not just collecting data, but ensuring that is analyzed and applied for the collective benefit. And the last one is Islamization of knowledge. Al-Atas argues that secular knowledge should be integrated with Islamic values. In the case of big data, this means creating regulation and practices that ensure data is used in alignment with ethical and moral values, avoiding secular tendencies that might prioritize profit over people rights. And in this case, into concrete, this to make this concrete, let's consider the Cambridge Analytica scandal in 2018. The company used data without consent to influence political campaigns, and from Al Atas perspective, this would be a violation of human nature and adab. Okay, next. In conclusion, big data present immense opportunities but also significant ethical challenge. Menggunakan atas view offers a moral and ethical framework that can get the responsible and human use of big data. By integrating concepts like fitra, human nature, adab or manners, and the Islamization of knowledge, we can ensure that big data serves the common good without compromising ethical principle. And perhaps for recommendation to make sure this result and to find other result, the next researchers can use other Islamic worldview and other methods. Thank you very much for your attention. Okay.
Thank you so much, Aldin, for the presentation. Can you please show me what was the reference of the what is the reference you made based on Al Atos book or chapter or journal?
Book. Prolegema and
when was it?
In 1995, 1995.
1995.
And secularism, yeah.
Okay,
Secularism.
1995.
Okay.
Okay. So 1995 is the Al Atos book you refer in your study, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the terminology of big data was introduced in 2000 something, 2001 or
Yes.
2003. So how do you link? And this is something Islamic scholars should avoid. Yeah, I mean, sometimes we do bombastic thing, yeah, but with very weak linkage. Like you mentioned, Al Atos book was in 1990 something, and the concept of big data was first introduced in 2000 something.
Yes.
So how can you say, like, you know, you are basing on theory before the topic you want to investigate was even mentioned? Do you get my point? Jadi
Yes, I get it.
commercially pengertian big data itu tahun 2000-an, 2001, 2003 gitu ya. Sementara kamu konsepnya adalah based on Atos something as if he is the the big name on the topic. And the book you are referring is 1909 sekian. So how do you bridge the link between the two? Gimana nyatuin?
In Al-Atas Islamic worldview, we think Al-Atas emphasized that science and religion should not be separate. And in case of big data, is this new science or new knowledge. So we can link from there the Al-Atas Islamic worldview framework can be used to manage or to navigate this new science or new knowledge.
Yeah. Okay. If that is the case, then what is the specificity? Apa yang spesial di sana? Karena kalau cara pandangnya seperti itu, then somebody else will say cryptocurrency berdasarkan Al-Atos framework. Kemudian artificial intelligence berdasarkan Al-Atos framework. Kemudian machine learning based on Al-Atos framework. So everybody will refer to Al-Atos as if it is used that way gitu. Paham nggak maksud saya? So I don't think it is scientifically, robust gitu ya. Jadi semuanya jadi Al-Atos gitu. Padahal Al-Atos give general foundation of thing. Ya, without pointing out or giving direction on particular issue gitu. If you use that kind of approach, then everything will be based on Al-Atos gitu, which is, from a scientific point of view jadi kurang menarik. Ya, you name it. Apalagi yang sekarang sedang mega trend of technology, ya, 3D printing based on Al-Atos, cryptocurrency based on Al-Atos, blockchain technology based on Al-Atos. Kan nggak bisa seperti itu dong.
Yeah.
Get my point. So how do you defend? How do you defend that question? Karena gini, sometimes Islamic scholar, terutama yang muda-muda, itu di pointing out jadi terlalu meng-hype your previous world. The fact that Islam was ruling the world in 700 to 1400 after the falling of Granada. Ya, saya tinggal di Granada dulu. So that sentiment flowing in my blood. Saya juga punya sentimen itu gitu. Cuman nggak bisa seperti itu dong. Maksudnya the fact bahwa we are leading the world itu bagus, tapi nggak kemudian di carry over bahwa we are leading the world forever. It's not the fact gitu. Jadi kalau cara pandangnya adalah seperti itu, jadi malah it will weaken your analysis. Ya, because you claim something which is not coming out from the person himself gitu. Maksudnya kalau if Al Atas is sitting here and was listening to you like no, I don't talk about that, you know. My guidance didn't really being reflected on your study gitu. So what is your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, I have read a paper from one lecturer in Edinburgh University at Edinburgh University, Michael Furler. In his paper, he is contextualized a big data in Bible, and from this paper, I think we can navigate and we can discuss big data from our perspective, like Islam or Al-Quran or like one of the Islamic scholar like that. So we think Al-Atas has a universal framework, not specific framework to something, to secularism or for ethic on like that. So from there, we try to contextualize and we try to apply his concept to big data.
Yeah, I mean, please, please take a look ya. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced.
Yes.
Karena apa? Karena beda dengan let's say ekonomi Islam. Ekonomi
Okay.
Islam, apa sudah ekonomi Islam sih kan sudah ada market driven economy, Keynesian for instance. Karena emang beda.
Yes.
Ada aspek-aspek bedanya gitu. Misalnya fiscal policy-nya Islam ya, itu based on zakat. Ya.
Yes.
Jadi ada konsep yang berbeda gitu, dan zakat itu ada konsep redistribution of wealth ya, yang di konvensional mungkin dari tax gitu, tapi kan beda jenis. Kemudian apalagi efficiency of market misalnya, atau the role of money jelas berbeda. Jadi totally different animal gitu ya. Cuman kalau blockchain dalam Islam, big data dalam Islam itu jadi emang ada dalam Kristennya apa gitu ya, dalam Budanya. Jadi those kind of thing itu the sentiment is not that right for technology. Jadi maybe you have to take a look on that. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you, Aldin. Do you have any more to say?
Any other suggestion, sir?
No, just that point. Just the point of
Okay.
referencing to Alatas for me is a bit troubling, but the idea is good. Yeah, it's very promising. So good luck and looking forward to get your updated version of your study.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So the last but not least, I'll invite Zulfikar Hasan from Stein, Bengkalis, Riau. The time is yours, and the commentator will be Pak Saroni.
Okay, thank you so much to moderator give me chance to deliver my article title for the international conference in international media conference in Indonesia. Today I want to share screen. Okay, the title in my article about the strategy of Muslim countries in the preventing and globalizations is study of OIC countries. The content of this article I have I have introduction, research methodology, content and discussion, and last is conclusion and recommendation. So introduction, according to Chapra, all Muslim countries are developing countries. Many problems are often found in Muslim countries. Common problems in Muslim countries are education, large challenge of payment deficit, high unemployment and inflation, and among the main causes of social politics stability. Economic recession can lead to reduced company profit, increased unemployment, and financial bankruptcy. A recession can occur when the economy does not grow for two consecutive quarters. Facing the danger of recession is a challenge for Muslim countries that are members of the OIC, including Indonesia, especially now that the economy is recovering after the COVID pandemic. When 2 years ago, in the spread of COVID-19 pandemic, several natural disasters are commonly visited, and the possibility of external factor from geopolitical tension in large countries. Beside the problem above, I have four research questions. First, what are the countries that receive the biggest impact of globalization? And then the research question two, what are the countries that are resistant to a globalization? And then what are the strategies of the OIC countries in preventing globalization? And then what sector can prevent and widening recession in OIC countries? And research methodology. Research here uses the descriptive qualitative method, and this research only focuses on countries that are members of the OIC. And I'm a researcher just to 5 countries focused in my research is Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Malaysia, and Iran. And how the 5 countries to prevent it, the recession in their countries. And the content and discussion, I will exposure the top exporter 2021 in the OIC countries. So the first UAE, Turkey, Egypt, Malaysia, Qatar, Morocco, Indonesia, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia. So what the impact in the 10 countries to export in this world, especially in the OIC countries. And then next, the top importer, Uni Emirat Arab, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Qatar, Turkey, etc. And again, how can impact in their countries to prevent, and also how basically the fundamental economic to prevent the recession. For example, like Malaysia. Malaysia also experienced a technical recession. For the trade economy, the neighboring economy of the neighboring country was minus 3.5% in the second quarter of 2020. And another country like Turkey also experienced a recession, such as its economic growth minus 9.9% in 2022. Turkey economy is declining with the highest inflation in 9 years. And then has Indonesia. Indonesia is one of the countries that can survive Turkey and high inflation. Even for the G20, even the community and also several companies, for example, have impact in this recession. And also the Saudi Arabia, the economy or recession is caused by various things, not only because of the price of oil. However, Saudi Arabia include the OPEC countries and several other oil producers such as Saudi Arabia often claim to avoid high oil prices because they are the fear contributing to global recession. So have several how can these OIC countries to prevent the global recession. For example, I told before, like Malaysia, Turkey, Indonesia, and Saudi Arabia have a strategy to prevent the recession in these their countries. And the strategy for facing the global recession in 2022 have a monetary policy, fiscal policy plus export, tax amnesty. Indonesia applied. It was Sri Mulyani applied the tax amnesty in Indonesia, and then the counter inflation and prevent borrowing interest high, and then encourage saving, and then reducing government spending and focusing on infrastructure development in the era Pak Jokowi. I think infrastructure more speed for the build in the several provinces like the Papua and the Indonesia West Indonesia. And I think a sector that's improve amid globalization. So I think the health sector or health supply chain can make big impact or can prevent the all countries when the recession coming. For example, like our neighbor countries like Malaysia, Malaysia have house security is very good in this work. So that's why maybe Indonesia can apply what the Malaysia can apply in this control in the recession. Meanwhile, only the three OIC countries are among the top 20 exporter of halal economic product, namely Turkey, Indonesia, and Malaysia. And the three countries have as a leading ally for halal product offered in the world. And I think the recommendation I have first, OIC country must continue to eliminate trade and investment barrier by utilizing strategic partnership and free trade agreements related to intra-region trade. And then the two, adopting uniform halal standard, whose industry will be the multiplier for trade and investment in the region. And then the third, focus on regional value chain development, which aim to develop raw materials. And then I think the last was country, especially in North Africa and the Middle East, is the poorer countries as the OIC country, must diversify trading partner to reduce depends on cereal, for example, like cereal import from Russia and Ukraine. And the conclusion, globalization is when a country experiences creating economic condition due to a decrease in gross domestic product. And I see member country not to be really affected by the globalization, where Qatar will make up in white because this country strong fundamental for economy because of the oil production. And then policy countries show focus on implementing Islamic economy development into the real sector. Okay, maybe that's all my presentation, and thank you so much for your attention. I invite to the moderator.
Thank you so much for the presentations. The last presentation from Zulfikar Hasan. So, Pak Professor Roni, the time is yours to give comments.
Okay, thank you, Professor Ibrahim. Okay, for Pak Zulfikar, I have some comment. The first one is you mentioned that how to prevent or to mitigate the impact of recession for OIC countries. The first one is I think Pak Zulfikar also needs to explore the context of geopolitics, because you mentioned that in your recommendation that OIC countries need to find the alternative source of cereal rather than depend on Russia or Ukraine. So you need to put the background, because the background is war, I think, because since 2022 or 2023, Russia and Ukraine become a significant factor for global value chain, because they are supplying grain and then fertilizer that affect many countries, including Indonesia. So what I want to suggest is you need to put the aspect of geopolitics, whereby the war in Ukraine affect global economics. That is the first one. The second one, you also mentioned that 2023 as a global recession. As far as I know, I'm not economist, Pak Ibrahim is economist. We don't see anything that like 2008. We have term global economic crisis, but in 2023 we didn't see that kind of global economic crisis. Everything run as well. Every country focus on their economic. Every country focus on how to revamp their economic progressive after pandemic. That happened during 2023. The third note is regarding the existence of OIC countries. I think you also need to elaborate because in OIC OIC as an organization sometimes very ineffective to organize economic activity because there are a lot of barriers. Yeah, for example, Indonesia with OIC countries still still talking, yeah, regarding how to foster export import among Muslim countries, especially OIC countries. In Ministry of Trade, they are preparing some protocol how to cross the barrier, yeah, among OIC countries. That's why in your article, I think you also need to be focused, yeah, rather than OIC countries, because it's huge, yeah. OIC country is almost 60 countries. So when you put it in one article, it's not enough. That's why you need to focus in 1, 2, or 3 countries. That's how they manage the economic crisis, how they mitigate the effect of global recession, yeah, and then what are the instrument or instrument that's used by OIC as an organization to mitigate the crisis, because in Western world they have let's say WTO, IMF, World Bank, yeah, but in OIC countries do they have kind of in IDB, yeah, Islamic Development Bank, to mitigate or how to make sure OIC countries members safer compared to other communities. I think that's some suggestion from me, Professor Ibrahim. Maybe you have something to add because you are economist regarding this topic. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pak Roni. Maybe Zulfikar, you can respond Pak Roni's comments. Time is
Okay,
2 minutes left.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Dr. Sharani, because give me feedback in my article. I have 3 feedback from your. First, I have much needed to expect your article. So I think why I just threw into the 2023, because in the up-to-date recession, I know in 2018 a global economic crisis, but in 2023, because from the before after the pandemic, pre-pandemic COVID-19, so there's also interest in the 2023, because I think the difference mitigated maybe in the several countries, especially in OIC countries. And then the second about the cereal import from the North Africa and Middle East. I think because North Africa and Middle East like for countries for OIC, so we can dependency with the Russia and Ukraine. So I think must differ in another countries for importer cereal in this country, especially in the North Africa and Middle East. Yeah. And then the 3, I just focus in the several. So I told before in my article I have 5 countries in focus. My article first is Indonesia, Malaysia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. In my paper, I just to give exposure how the country to mitigate this crisis for faced in the faced in the faced face in the mitigation and then the global crisis actually in the OIC countries. So that's my comment to from the Dr. Sharoni feedback.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Mas Zulfikar. Thank you, Pak Roni. I don't think I have more comments, but maybe to echo what Pak Roni has mentioned, that talking about recession among OIC countries, I mean, each countries have different problem, different landscape. Middle East probably they are more into resource base. Indonesia is more mixture. I think OIC countries are supported by different engine of growth, and the solution and the the remedy, the medicine for the problem should be different country by country, as Pak Roni also mentioned. I mean, even the strategy of response towards recession will be different. Some countries are forced to increase interest rates, some countries not, some countries more into diversifying the product. Even now, if you look into Saudi Arabia is now promoting tourism beyond Umrah. So they built a satellite city. They built so they want to detach image that Saudi is only for Muslim tourists. Even in some cases, you can see that now non-Muslim can enter Medina, Munawwarah, Masjid Nabawi. Yeah, as long as they cover their body. So countries are different and the remedy is also different. So I think the conclusion of the study and the method of the study is to diversify on how OIC countries can cope with those adversities. Yeah, Pak Zulfikar. So that's all. Bapak Ibu sekalian, I'm very honored to be here and to be a moderator for this final top 10 presentation. I think all of them have strong potential to be published, and we will wait what will be suggested from all reviewers. And for me, thank you very much. Wallahu muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq, and back to Ibu Annisa. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, thank you so much, Pak Ibrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the conclusions of the International Mini Conference. I hope we have a lesson learned from what we have been said for these past 2 hours. Special thanks to all panelists, presenters, and all of committee. I apologize for any mistakes during the conference. That's all from me, Annisa Maulidia Alfian. We look forward to seeing you at the future events. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. All the best. Terima kasih semuanya. Terima kasih, Tony. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Pak Ibra. Terima kasih semuanya.
Sukses selalu. Terima kasih semuanya.
Terima kasih
Keep in
Pak
touch.
Ibra.
Terima kasih.
Kepada peserta diharapkan untuk mengisi link absennya untuk sertifikat.
Oke, thank you.
Ada linknya Mbak Nisa?
Ada Pak di sebentar saya share lagi Pak.
Boleh.